Hey you, you're finally awake. It's well known that Skyrim is an absolute treasure trove of glitches and bugs that have been uncovered over the years. The speedruns take full advantage of this, varying as wildly as picking up your equipment as quickly as possible, all the way to becoming a god in 5 minutes. Knowing this, I did some research and found some unexpected ways that speedrunners are beating the game as fast as possible, and compiled them so you don't have to. And for a little bit of extra flavor on top, I decided to rank each speedrun by its skill level, general game knowledge that you need to complete the run, and general enjoyment of the run. This will all culminate to the end of the video where I give my definitive which Skyrim speedrun should you try out today. Shall we then? Our first world record run is done by NPCDS, which is one of the shortest runs of Skyrim that you can complete start to finish. Right away, we quick save and immediately quick load while our character is currently sprinting. This allows us to maintain our sprinting speed even after we release the sprint. From here, we ascend the tower and exit out of the hole created by the dragon. We can then round the corner of the outside of the tower as there's a little lip that we can walk around right about there. Following our hopping across the top of this burnt structure, we make our way to Helgen Keep and enter. Immediately upon entering, a quick save into a quick load will skip an initial piece of dialogue from Hadvar. A second dialogue skip is performed and then it's out of bounds time, baby. Our runner grabs a wooden bowl from this table which is used to clip out of bounds through this wall. Trust me, this will be the first of many. While maintaining our position out of bounds and hopping between rooms, we find a dead enemy holding an iron war axe. And then, well, you know. Anyways, for skill level required, I give this one a 4 out of 10 due to the quick saves and the out of bounds they have to perform. For game knowledge, well, it's just picking up an axe, so probably a 2. And for general enjoyment, a 5. Now bear with me here, this next run is quite possibly my favorite. Bearcart percent, and yes, that's its real name, takes advantage of some funky collision in the game. Our world record holder, Shauqinu, starts the run by maneuvering around the tutorial tower and hopping over the burnt structures to escape the area. After an additional jump to get outside of the area walls, our runner makes their way towards the Helgen Keep cave entrance. One funny note here is that technically, we don't have access to our hands yet during this run, which makes this run particularly silly. Once inside the cave, we sprint towards this cart sitting in the middle of the area and using our character's body, sort of, well, Bearcart. This one is easy for ratings. I give skill level a 3 because, you know, you do have to aim the cart. Game knowledge, a 1. Sorry. But for general enjoyment, I mean, come on, man, it has to be a 10. Alright, on deck is a run that is literally quite the heavy hitter. Our Encumbrance percent run focuses on just that, how to get really, really heavy as quickly as possible. The world record is by NPCDS1 in 1 minute and 12 seconds, and we pick up quite the plethora of equipment. This run begins very similarly to the run of Axe percent by quick saving and loading through dialogue. In the entrance, we open a chest to grab an Imperial light helmet, 2 iron swords hanging on the walls, and whoops, another light helmet. We then perform the same wall glitch with a bowl as shown in Axe percent, and bunny hop out of bounds to our next room. Our runner then opens destruction and wields flames to cook these unsuspecting soldiers. We quickly grab Gunjar's iron war axe and loot the burning soldiers to grab an iron battle axe and an iron warhammer. Now maneuvering downstairs, our runner performs 2 quick saves and loads, one in the stairway and one in the landing. From there, we continue the absolute roast of these soldiers and snag an iron greatsword and another iron warhammer. Finally, we make our way downwards at once more to find a corner cell that contains an iron mace and iron shield. After a quick save and the "you are carrying too much to be able to run" text, we claim that world record. For rankings on this one, we're going to go with a 4 for skill level, a 4 for general game knowledge, and a 5 for fun. I mean, you do get to light shit on fire. Okay, so this is the part of the video where the runs start to get really cursed. The MasterChef run by Waz introduces core Skyrim glitches that we will be using throughout the rest of the runs. Did I mention that we have to cook 5 dishes as fast as possible? The run starts per normal with one huge exception. We don't have use of our hands outside of the castle walls. Waz will make a save on the parapet here and run immediately to the edge of the entrance of Helgen Keep. Once making a game save here, we quick load back to our previous save and enter Helgen Keep from inside the castle walls. Per normal, we will perform the 2 dialogue skips with quick saves and then immediately reload our save outside the keep from before. Once that save loads, we walk into the load zone while opening the menu. We then blind menu to the quit button and reload the file where our hands are now unbound, and ta-da! We're in the open world with hands unbound. The key here is that the previous runs didn't actually require the combination of being outside the castle walls and the use of our hands. You still with me? Good, because you're in for a treat. Waz makes their way up to the peak of the hill at Helgen, where we will be testing the laws of physics. We first jump and make a quick save around this spot here, and immediately turn around to wait for Oh, about 1 hour. This spawns in our hunter-horse combination seen here because why wouldn't it? After kindly asking the hunter for their horse, we maneuver to the edge of this rock to perform a massive movement glitch with the oh-so-appropriate name, Horse Tilt. By standing with our horse on the edge of this rock and dismounting once vertical, the body of our character has nowhere to dismount, resulting in violent whipping of our character in midair. Once we've gained speed, we reload back to the save we made moments ago to shoot ourselves at high velocity across the map. Speed can be maintained across quick saves in Skyrim, and the combination of our open runway with glitched movement speed allows us to functionally travel anywhere we want on the map as long as we don't hit walls or the ground too hard. Armed with this glitch, Waz launches all the way to Solitude by landing softly in the water and carefully climbing up the path to the city gate. Once inside, it's cooking time, baby! We whip over to the food supply and immediately start grabbing a variety of ingredients, including potatoes, salt piles, salmon, tomatoes, leeks, carrots, more potatoes, garlic braids, cabbage, more potatoes, and red apples. Once obtained, Waz walks to the Radiant Rement to begin cooking. Now, what even is a cooking speedrun without a chef's hat and tunic, am I right? We buy and equip our fancy garb and commence the meal prep. Waz rapidly cooks an apple cabbage stew, cabbage potato soup, salmon steak, tomato soup, and vegetable soup to complete this world record in 2 minutes and 57 seconds. Skill level for this run is definitely a 7 due to the amount of glitches, quick saves, and ingredient tech. Game knowledge here is probably about a 5, about the middle of the pack. But the fun factor, probably like a 9, because which speedrun allows you to eat and run at the same time? Do you remember what I said in the last run about introducing core Skyrim glitches that we're going to use from here on out? Well, surprise, surprise, this mantra will continue into our next run of Diseases % by Jesse. In a very similar fashion, Jesse does the quick save glitch to release our hands and begins to escalate Helgen to set up for our horse tilt glitch. As we're getting ready for launch, I can start to explain what the goal of this run is. There are many diseases in Skyrim, and we're going to be collecting those diseases like they're infinity stones. Conveniently, there's a location in Skyrim called Redwater Den, which is found here on the map. Inside of this den is the Redwater Spring, which consists of 3 large caves. One of them being where the Dragonborn has to collect the bloody waters in the Bloodstone Chalice if they had joined the Volkihar clan. The kicker here is that activating said blood spring will afflict the following diseases upon our character. So upon entering the Redwater Den, we grab a wooden bowl which will be important for later. Then, we navigate across the room and grab a bucket to perform our next glitch. By combining our setup in the den with our momentum saved up from Horse Tilt, Jesse gains momentum and loads back into the den to clip out of bounds and drop into a lower section of the den. But if you would believe it, we're not done yet. After walking through the doors of the Redwater Spring, Jesse loads in our bowl and performs a wall clip to get out of bounds. While quick saving along our way outside of the walls and jumping to put ourselves in position for our final manipulation, Jesse quickly saves and performs yet another horse tilt to use momentum and masterfully clip into the blood spring room. Finally, Jesse activates the blood spring and completes the run in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. The skill level needed to perform these out of bounds maneuvers and glitches sets this run at a solid 7 for skill level. Game knowledge needed isn't too much once you know where the Redwater Den is, so maybe a 3. And finally, the fun factor clocks in at a 5. The final 3 runs of this video all focus on pokey pokey, stabby stabby, big deathy death, and they all focus on just that, killing a character or specific enemy in the game. The first run is Nazeem %, and this is a wild one from the word go. This run by Waz kicks off with a very similar beginning to our previous runs of Diseases and MasterChef, but instead takes advantage of the entrance at Bone Chill Passage. Waz will create a save at the edge of the entrance, load back to the castle, and set up to skip the dialogue inside of Helgen Keep. Following successful skips, Waz loads back to Bone Chill Passage and walks into the cave and opens the menu simultaneously. Following blind menuing to quit and then immediately reloading our save at Helgen Keep, our game places us inside the cave and allows us to walk outside and teleport back to Helgen. After which, Waz waits 1 hour and immediately teleports back to Bone Chill Passage. Waz quickly equips the flames after spawning and crosses paths with, "Oh, hey man, good to see you." And you all know what horses are good for in this game. Oh yes, more horse tilt, baby. We set up on a nearby rock and zip over to Dragon's Reach and conveniently land next to a guard that we hit and use as a form of fast travel. By taking us to jail and serving our time, we teleport to the middle of Dragon's Reach where we beeline to our target. Now, as we all know, Nazeem is the nicest, truly most humble, and giving NPC in all of Skyrim. He truly emblemizes honor and Yeah, who am I kidding? He's annoying. Easy picks here. 7 for skill level, 4 for game knowledge, and a 6 for fun. Now for these last 2 runs, I had to call in a bit of a Skyrim expert to unravel some of the wackiness that you're about to see. My buddy Chronos is a speedrunner and mod for the Skyrim speedrunning community, and is about 100 times more knowledgeable in Skyrim glitches than I am. In this run of Kill Miraak % by Waz, there are a few almost indecipherable glitches that we can hopefully shed some light on in this video. This run kicks off in the same nature as many others, by glitching out of Helgen Keep and eventually finding ourselves launching our horse-shaped rocket to the moon. Upon launching out of Horse Tilt, Waz begins aiming to land first at Riften Stables to unlock the checkpoint on the map. We're not quite done as Waz continues his flight all the way to the Windhelm Stables. Once unlocked, we open the map and teleport back to the Riften Stables we just unlocked. Now, we do the logical next step of punching a horse in the face to get sent to jail. By going to jail and serving our time, we exit at Mistvale Keep where things take a turn. You might be asking, Bobby, if we're killing Miraak, why are we in Mistvale Keep? Well, to get married, of course. But first, we sell this vendor's pants back to him as if they weren't his in the first place, for some free gold for the upcoming setups. After conversing with the vendor, we chat with Miramal, who explains the concept of love, and sells us an amulet of Mara for 200 gold. Wait, why would we need that amulet? Oh, right, for Mercurio, who we get married to. We quickly hire him as a gun for hire and our husband at the same time, and continue on our merry way. We officially ask to be married, and then immediately flee to Wilhelm Stables in fear of commitment. So what was the purpose of this entire side quest for love? Well, this is where I bring in my buddy Chronos to give a bit of an explanation. He explains that finishing your marriage, either by successfully getting married or failing your marriage ceremony, returns control to your character. This is super useful in a lot of Skyrim runs, including main quest, by skipping unskippable cutscenes that normally we can't do anything during. Here, Waz gets married and will fail the marriage ceremony by advancing the in-game time by waiting. This is pretty precise since we want marriage to fail at a specific time, which is taken into account by the route, since fast traveling affects the in-game time. You'll note that we bought passage on a boat to Raven Rock, where we immediately disembark and take advantage of our horse rocket. In expert style, Waz fast travels all the way to the Temple of Miraak, located at the center of Solstheim. While entering the sanctum, Waz will interact with the Black Book as well as expertly failing to attend his own wedding. Marriage fails at the end of the next day cycle, so he waits enough time, about 20 hours here, 17 is enough, and gets control of his character during that unskippable cutscene where he reads the book. Upon reading it, our character is transported to Apocrypha, where Miraak can be encountered. Once inside, we grab a scroll of Fireball off this table and proceed to sneakily grab a second scroll after searching through this pod here. We are now ready for the fight of our lives. We proceed into Miraak's chamber and steal his clothes, I guess, and teabag him for a world record. For the skill level and game knowledge ratings, I'm going to give an 8 due to the fast travel mechanics and the marriage tech that we saw. For fun, I'm going to give this run a hearty 9. It's the perfect combination of marriage, fast travel, vendor glitching, and much more. Okay, it's time for the big boy. This is one of the wildest speedruns of Skyrim to exist, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, you know the drill, run the tape. Kill Karstaag % by Waz begins with our usual NASA launch, but this time Waz launches to Bleak Falls Barrow, which is a medium-sized Nordic ruin west of Riverwood. We shimmy our way up these stairs and enter through the Bleak Falls sanctum doors. Inside of the sanctum, Waz sets up a save to perform a massive out-of-bounds clip and fast travel. We pick up a bucket and set up along this wall and swap back to our equestrian friend. Once we launch, we clip through the walls and Waz will pause buffer to ensure we fall where we need to. Going in slow motion here, Waz will go into inventory to drop foot wraps to break our fall and follow into a precise location in the cave below. When landing below, we set up yet another glitch called scroll duping with the scroll of Fireball. It's done by doing some menu manipulation, so he equips the scroll while it is still in the chest, allowing him to have infinite uses of scroll of Fireball. This will be critically important later on in the run. This glitch description was brought to you again by my pal Chronos. Upon fast traveling to Riverwood, Waz performs a vendor glitch similar to the run of Miraak we saw before. As a reminder, we choose an expensive item quickly, which in this case is the mage robes, to get enough gold for the rest of the run, which is needed for an upcoming boat ride over to Raven Rock. Speaking of which, let's get on that boat! Another one. Once we're finished with our aquatic adventure, you could probably guess what's next. That's right, baby, we're zooming! Our next destination is the glacial cave on the north coast of Solstheim, east and slightly north of Saring's Watch. At the southern end of the cave is Karstaag's skull, which we pick up and then proceed to kick off horse tilt to escape rapidly. Once out, we open the map and teleport to Castle Karstaag ruins, where things are about to get a little spicy. Our momentum is kept through teleportation, so we jump the gap with our fast travel here and break the laws of physics. You see, at the beginning of the run, Waz item duped some wooden bowls in Helgen's Keep to drop underneath us to break our fall and prevent critical fall damage. Then, the moment of truth. Waz activates Karstaag's throne and gets positioned for the upcoming fight. Due to our unlimited scroll of Fireball, we are absolutely able to cook Karstaag in every sense of the phrase. After about 20 or so fireballs to the face, Karstaag dies and we claim our world record. Our ratings for that absolute piece of art are as follows. Skill level, 10, easily. For game knowledge, definitely about a 6. And for fun, an 8. I mean, where else can you shoot unlimited fireballs? So finally, as promised, I have the absolute pleasure of telling you my top 3 runs, and they are as follows. At number 3, I recommend Bearcart %. And that's to kind of get used to the game and get used to the speedrunning mechanics as well. The world record is less than a minute long, and it's a really fun time. With my number 2 recommendation, I recommend you try out MasterChef % to start trying out that horse tilt / fast travel mechanic that we saw before. Plus, you get to LARP as Gordon Ramsay for a bit. And finally, which Skyrim speedrun should you do today? I would recommend Nazeem % because it has the perfect combination of those fast travel glitches, quick saves, and satisfies the insatiable hunger to burn an innocent NPC alive. And if you get really good at that run, you can try out the Miraak and the Karstaag run for a little bit of a challenge. If you watched this video all the way to the end, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel to see videos just like this one. And until next time, watch the skies, traveler.